Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Six Morning Show. I'm Tony T with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to run live picks for today's card. And on today's show, we'll have picks for you from, Major League Baseball 15-game card. We're at last weekend, last 3 games. We do have some wild card scenarios coming down here and division as well, and a few. So this would be interesting there. Also, 3 from college football. The WNBA playoffs return after a little break in the action. They needed 2 days off, so WNBA comes back today, and we'll have that covered for here on the Tony Speaks Morning Show. So, guys, make sure you hit that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. It really helps us build up our audience. And let's go ahead and let's meet the cappers, and we'll get right to the picks, because we don't mess around here on the Tony Speaks Morning Show. Let's go to Chris. Chris, what's going on?
No, not much. Glad to be back. Went 1-1 yesterday. Had the Seahawks on with the 1.5 there, and then baseball just let me down again. So we're trying to get through the end of the season there. Just trying to get through. It's been rough, but everything else has been helping. College football and NFL, everything's getting me through there. And didn't hit anything on the home run hit list. It's been slow. These guys, they're showing up, not showing up. So you got to be careful there. But we're just ready to get to it.
Yeah, I was wondering that, because I took the money line in that Seattle game, because I was wondering if Arizona was going to go for 2 at the end. You know, that crossed my mind, right? I did have the money line.
They should have. I think they had a little momentum, but like you said, I think they should have went for the game.
Yeah,
I think they had a little momentum going to overtime. The crowd was rocking. I think they thought they would get the ball, but
they would have put a little bit more pressure on Darnold there, coming from behind instead of having the tie there. So we saw what happened when it was behind in the end game scenario. They didn't get it done against San Francisco, but they were tied, so there wasn't as much pressure. So what's happening?
Is that on the kicker, or is that on the defense at the end?
Oh boy, both, right? The kicker, you got to push them back as far as possible. They're just they're just playing games. That's not an easy thing to do, Right. Although, I would just push them back,
Okay.
But you know how these teams, they can that was a clutch catch and get out of bounds there. So then the kicker hit the hit from 50. He missed before, so you just never know. So what's happening?
Not too much, man. Happy Friday. Happy to be here. I think we went 1-2 yesterday. I had the Cardinals plus 1.5. I had the under, and I had the Guardian. So we dropped that one. But nice little card today. Let's fire. Let's get back to it.
Let's get to work. Ninos, how you doing?
Went pretty good. Coming off of 4-1-1 day. I think that brings us to 8-2 with 2 pushes over the last couple of days. So rolling along into the weekend, and hoping to keep this streak going here with football coming back up.
Absolutely, yeah. I had a 2-0 yesterday. I was on the Seahawks side of it. I did take the money line just to avoid that one point situation that we might have had there in that one at the end there. But we got it done here. Seattle again. This is a team that chokes down the stretch, man. I hate to say it. They blew a 2-touchdown lead. They did the same thing against the 49ers, and you got to be careful of them in those end games where the defense can't get it, giving up points late. That's not a good view when you give up 14 there at the end and needed a field goal to get bailed out there. So it had the Mets as well, and of course it's baseball. A lot of wild card scenarios. We know Boston's magic number to make the wild card is 1. So Houston lost or Boston win, and they're in. And Houston's in really rough shape because they do not have the tiebreaker against the Guardians or the Tigers. So they got to make up 2 games because they can't finish tied with these teams. Really, Houston needed a Cleveland sweep. They didn't. That split or that loss by Cleveland did not help Houston, because now they got to jump 2 teams. It's a tough spot for them as well. So all right, let's get to the games here, guys. We'll start here with college football. Some pretty good matchups for a Friday night here. Of course, we're getting the conference season, so we're going to get them. Florida State, Virginia, a good one here. Florida State on the road laying 7 total, about 60.5 now. The 59.5 are gone now, so 7-point favorite Florida State. TCU and Arizona State, very interesting game here. ASU home favorites of 3, total 54.5. And probably the one, Oregon State, let's hope this turns this better than a stinker, although the line tells you something here. Houston, 13.5-point favorite on the road, total sits 47.5. We start here with Chris.
Yeah, look at Florida State, Virginia. I think same thing we've been doing most of the season with Virginia games, going over 60.5 there. I think we see a lot of offense from both of these teams, not much defense. So give me the over 60.5 with the Florida State and Virginia game. And then Houston, Oregon State. Yeah, I think that's telling you what you got there. I mean, Houston just seems to be the better ball club there with that. So I'll I usually don't lay real big points like that with favorites, but I'll take it with Houston today on that against Oregon State. They're just not doing real well. 0-4 coming out of the gate here. So give me Houston in the points.
Very good. From Chris, move on over to Solo.
Florida State, Virginia. Excuse me. I actually like Virginia quarterback. Nice transfer. I want to say North Texas, I believe.
Yep.
Runs kind of I don't want to say no other offense, but up-tempo offense. He really throws the ball well. Kind of nice size in the trenches. I think they're familiar with Castellanos from his time at Boston College. I think they played him once or twice. This Florida State team is strong. I think Virginia crowd comes to play. Probably see some points, but I'm going to take Virginia +7. And TCU and Arizona State. I'm actually not a big fan of Arizona State quarterback. He had a nice little run last year. He's solid, but I don't think he's good as they put on. I think this TCU team is strong. I think they can run the ball. I think we'll see some points as well, but I'm going to take TCU +3. There
we go. From Solo on over to Alninos.
Yeah, I agree with the guys. I think we see a shootout in that early one. This is at 60 and juiced, as Chris was mentioning, probably 60.5 in some places now. Looked at it yet last night was 59.5, so that one's definitely on the move, and I want to get on sooner rather than later. Obviously, it is getting pretty late, but still, I think very bettable there. I think this one gets well into the 60s. TCU Arizona, yeah, should be a good one. I think TCU again hangs tough, and I really like this number in the first quarter here. Again, just don't think Arizona State gets enough possessions to cover the half point there in the first quarter. I'll take the half point with TCU in the first quarter. And yeah, Houston, Oregon State. Maybe not quite the back and forth shootout as game one on this slate, but again, I think Houston gets its offense going here, and I think Oregon State does just enough scoring to get us over this 47.
Yeah, from Al Nino, say what I think about these games. Yeah, I've been all over the overs with Virginia. I'm not going to stop now. You got, as Solo mentioned here, the North Texas transfer Morris. He's been accurate, knows how to run the up tempo, and you don't bring in someone from North Texas and play a pro set. You don't do that. You just keep going with the up tempo. So I saw that right away when I saw that North Texas transfer. Virginia's going to be a completely different offensive team, and they've gone over in every game and kind of played to the script here. I could not believe the game was last week against Stanford was in the 40s. I mean, how can you put a Virginia total in the 40s? Made no sense to me. But again, you got two high octane offenses here, Florida State and Virginia. Virginia wants to go up tempo, and FSU is running the football for 7 yards a carry. And I'll tell you this: Virginia's defense isn't any great shakes, and as they continue to play this high tempo, this defense is going to wear out for Virginia because they don't have the depth to play this up tempo style. But they're not going to stop. They're just going to play football up tempo. So I like the over there. I agree with Solo. Give me Josh. Give me Hoover over the quarterback here for ASU. I like what I see from Hoover, by the way, over Levitt. I think that to me that's the difference in the game there. ASU at home 0-2. The spread at home when they face these good rush defenses that allow 3.25 yards per rush per game. So if TSU stops the run, going to put more pressure on Levitt. I just think again the TCU quarterback 68% completions, 9.4 yards per pass attempt, and the Sun Devils they don't have that efficiency in their passing game, and they're only converting 30% on third down, and that's the concern there. I'll take TCU there, and I'll leave that Houston Oregon State. That's the least of my confidence player in that one. I don't want to lay that on the road there. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. As we'll turn our attention over to Major League Baseball. 3 games remaining here in the regular season. Monday will only be played if they need to make up a rain out. So far, we'll see how that rolls. Let's take a look here at some of the pitching matchups, see if there's been any changes in anything here. Just kind of scrolling up and down. Let's see. We know Casey Mize will go for Detroit against Kyle Harrison. Very interesting game there. Detroit and Boston. Boston's magic number is 1, by the way. A Boston win or a Houston loss, and Boston will clinch a wild card spot. So that's the situation there with Boston. Of course, we know Detroit, and we know that Cleveland has the tiebreaker on Detroit, and they're even in the standings. So that's how that looks. And both of them can finish ahead of if both of them finish ahead of Houston. The other one will make the wild card. So Houston has to make up 2 games on either Cleveland or Detroit to get into the wild card. And right now they're 1 game behind. So realistically, a Cleveland win, Detroit win today, and a Houston loss, and the drama is over as far as the wild card goes. we'll know our wild card teams. All right, Mets are going to go with Sproat here, the young kid, against Sandy with Miami there. Let's see what else we have in this situation. Priester was moved to today. Milwaukee's magic number is 1 to clinch the 1 seed. Either a Milwaukee win or a Philly loss, and Milwaukee will clinch the number 1 seed, which I think is significant because I could see Milwaukee and Philly playing the NLCS. I could very easily see that. And if they do, I project that to be a 7-game series. So that's why I've been emphasizing how important it is for Milwaukee to keep that number 1 seed and keep Philadelphia out of that park. You don't want to go to Philly in a game 7. Trust me, that place is a zoo in there, over there. Hendricks, his retirement tour, just a 1-game tour. He announced his retirement. He'll get his last start of his career today for the Angels, if that's any significant. But Houston here, they could get there. They got 3 in LA. So, Houston, they can't be eliminated going into this game. But if both Detroit and Cleveland win and Houston loses, they are eliminated. So, Houston will still have some life when this game starts. As long as they win, they'll have some life. But other than that, it looks very dire here for Houston there. Emmett Sheehan has been announced as a starter for the Dodgers as they take on Seattle. And the Dodgers have clinched the 3 seed, and they're locked in their seed. By the way, Seattle has clinched a bye in the first round. So the AL West, AL East winner will have the bye. The Central will have to play in the wild card round. So that's how it looks there. Although Seattle's still in the mix here to be the number 1 seed, we'll see how important that is for them as they continue in the series. Dodgers have nothing to play for. Arizona on the outside looking in against Padres and Arizona. Gallen was moved. I don't know why they moved Gallen. They told the Dodgers we're going to move Gallen to today. I don't understand why they tell them and why they would do that. That seems a little fishy to me. What happened yesterday? I mean, why do you go to the Dodgers? We're gonna push Gallen back. Why would you tell the Dodgers that? That made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Darvish goes. The Padres have a slim hopes here. They got to make up 2 games in the final 3 to get home field in that first round against the Cubs. So, although there was some talk that San Diego was just going to rest their starters this weekend. So that came out of the Padre podcast. The guys that covered the Padre, watched the Padre podcast, they said that Schultz was talking about resting his guys in the series. So keep an eye. Yeah, they don't think they can make up 2 games in 3 days. They really don't. So that means I have to go to Chicago. So they probably feel that the rest is more important than having to go and try and catch the Cubs. Because if all they got to do is catch the Cubs to get home field. That's all they got to do.
It might depend a lot on today's results as well, I guess.
It will. Or what happens in the Cubs game earlier. So that keep an eye there. Luis Morales has been announced as a starter for Athletics to take on KC. And it'll be Marquez, and now Trevor McDonald gets to start for San Francisco. San Francisco been long out here for a few days here to close that one out. All right, so we got you there with all this the situations there in baseball. I don't see any significant weather, nothing in pink or dark red indicating that we're going to have a rain out anywhere. So it looks like we're going to get these games in today, and that's important because we don't need any makeups on Monday. I'll tell you that right now. All right, so let's get to it here. We've got our first block will be Cardinals and Cubs. The Cubs are getting one step closer to their magic number is 2, by the way, to clinch the 4 seed. That is their magic number here to get home field in the wild card round. 2 is their magic number as they're trying to hold off the Padres. Cubs $1.62, total 8.5. White Sox and Nationals, the Nats $1.27, total 8.5. Twins and Phillies $1.50, total of 8. Orioles and Yankees, we got the Yankees $1.45, total of 8. Rays and Blue Jays just have to keep pace with the Yankees. They're tied right now with them, and they have the tiebreaker. Toronto here $1.77, total 7.5. And we start the block off here with Chris.
Yeah, looking at St. Louis, Chicago there, you got Michaelis and Ray from what I can see here. Michaelis sporting a 6.3 ERA, and the last ones here and Wrigley have all gone over, so I'm going to go that way too. I think we see some runs in this one. I think Ray can get hit. We know Michaelis can get hit up in that one. And then White Sox, Washington, not much, significance there in that one. I take the dog in that one, White Sox there. I think both these guys are just done. Maybe take White Sox first 5 if you want in and out. Get in and out of that game. It's kind of one of those meaningless ones on the board today. Looking at the Phillies and Twins with Joe Ryan and Nola, I'd take over 8 there. I think Nola can get hit. I think the Twins are going to be able to get to him. The Phillies are going to be able to get to Joe Ryan a little bit. We'll get a little bit over 8 in that matchup there. Going back and forth on this Baltimore one here with Will Warren, got Rogers there. Trevor Rogers hasn't been terrible. I'd actually take the dog in that one. Take Baltimore on there to give a little bit of an upset to the Yankees on that one. So give me the plus money with the Orioles.
There we go. From Chris, move on to Rosello.
The White Sox and the Nationals. We got Gomez and Cavalli. I trust neither one of these pitchers. White Sox playing good ball. The Nationals bullpen is actually, they've been terrible all season. They can see the finish line. I don't think they give a damn. I think runs come early and often. I'm gonna take this total over. That Orioles and Yankees game is a tricky one. The Yankees. Warren has been solid, but Rogers kind of fell off the last couple starts. But I still think this team comes to play. I'm gonna take this total over 8.
There we go. From Solo, move on over to Alaninos.
Yeah, I actually like Rogers here. I think he comes out and has a strong outing. He just had a good outing against these Yankees not long ago, has great numbers against them. So, yeah, Vegas saying some reverse run lines there on the dogs today. And I can definitely see that here. I mean, they did win this one by 2, I believe, last time in that last meeting. Could take a shot on the Orioles there, -1 there with the money line and reverse run line. Same story for the White Sox here. I think Gomez can have a decent start here against the Nationals, and I think they can get to Cavalli and that Nationals bullpen. So we could take the White Sox -1 as well. And yeah, I like the overs Chris mentioned. Yeah, I think we see a lot of runs here in this early slot. I'm hard. It's hard for me to pick my favorites. I think we see a lot of runs there. Maybe that actually the Orioles Yankees game might see the least runs of this block, but I like a lot of runs everywhere. Nola and Ryan been struggling. The Twins bullpen's been awful. Philly's got a pretty good offense. That's probably my one I like a lot there. Probably my favorite over would be in that one.
Yeah, Lino's looking a lot of stat padding there. A lot of overs, a lot of stat padding on that one. Yeah.
They got to get up to the plate. It's not like they're running a marathon. They just got to swing the bat, right? So
yep, they got to get their paper look good on paper to get those contracts. Yeah, St. Louis form, by the way, is good, hitting 289 over their past 7. The Cubs just haven't been hitting. It's hard for me to lay numbers here. I don't know how much the Cubs are feeling the pressure from the Padres. Their magic number is 2 there to clinch the 4 seed and have home field in that first round. But I don't know if that matters to the Cubs. They're hitting just 226 here over their past 6 games. St. Louis bullpen in the better recent form. I'll look at the Cardinals, the big plus price there. I can only take plus with the White Sox against the Nationals. And Cavalli has past 5 starts, ERA over 5.5. Nationals bullpen has been pounded over their past 6 games. The ERA approaching 7 against these NL teams with a slugging percentage of 400 or lower. The White Sox 8-4 on the road against these teams. Against losing teams this year, Washington 10-21 at home against them, losing 13 units. I can only look at the plus there with Chicago. Yeah, I agree here with the over in the Twins Phillies, but look at the Phillies lineup to see if they're really going to play some of their starters. But they will have the bye, so that's something to look for. When you have the bye, they tend not to rest these guys because you're going to go through an entire week without baseball. So keep an eye. You got to really keep an eye on these lineups today because I'm not sure if these clinch teams are going to rest or play their starters. I'm thinking mostly the teams that are in the wild card will likely rest. The teams that are not in the wild card will usually play. But I'll go over in that one, Twins and Phillies there. Philadelphia's just been smashing the baseball. Ryan is going the other way. Past 5 starts, ERAs. Maybe they should have traded Ryan. ERA over 6.5 over the past 5 starts. Probably wouldn't matter, but they probably should have traded him to get some prospects there. I can look under Orioles and Yankees. This is a tricky series for the Yankees here, and Orioles can wake up at any minute here. So I think this is a tough series for New York. They're going to feel the pressure. Look at the scoreboard to see what Toronto is doing, and the fans get nervous. Baltimore hitting just $153 though in their past 6 games, and Warren has been good at home. The New York bullpen good recent form. Look at this, Baltimore 15-4 the under in their past 19 games. Yikes! Against these slow slugging teams that are slug percentage of 400 or lower. New York is 19-3 the under at home against these low slugging teams with a percentage of 400 or lower. I'll go under in that one. All right.
Real quick before we move on, Tony, Rays Jays was in this slot.
No, next. Yes, it is.
That's one I may be looking to under. Actually, I like both these starters here. I think they can have a bit of a pitcher's duel. So definitely not rushing to bet the over in that one. All right, sorry about that.
All right, yeah, Bieber against the Rays. Rays look like a dead team, and I would probably look a run line there with Toronto in that spot. Hauser in his past 10 starts, ERA over 4.5. He's kind of going the other way as well. when you look at Hauser there. So I'll look at the that side for Toronto. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Morning Show as we continue on here, looking at the Mets and Marlins. Of course, Mets are battling to get in the wild card. We got the Mets $1.34, total of 8. Tigers and Red Sox, big one here. Red Sox $1.20, total 8.5. Rangers and Guardians. The Guardians $1.45, total of 7. That was a little cheap to me there on that Guardians line. Pirates and Braves. The Braves $1.57, total sits here 8.5. We'll close the block with Reds and Brewers. Brewers magic number 1 to clinch the number 1 seed. Brewers $1.60, total of 8. We start here with Chris.
Probably the most meaningless game on the board today. Pirates and my Braves. Mitch Keller, Joey Wentz. Take the over there. I think Keller gets rocked. Joey Wentz is going to give up some as well. I think we see some runs in Atlanta tonight. In there, I know we got Charlie Morton for the last game of the season, so it's definitely a good sign off for the Braves season this year is to have Charlie Morton pitch that one. But anyway, we'll get to that one on Sunday. But yeah, looking at these others here, I mean, it is Tigers just. I'm not backing the Tigers. I haven't backed them in a while. I'd go with Boston here on the money line. I know it's Kyle Harrison, Casey Mize, but I'd still take Boston there to get it done. The Guardians got more to. I mean, they're in it. The Rangers are not. So. Don't want to take them really on the money line there. Might take run line. They might get to the Rangers, but we might see a let's see what I got. Yeah, I don't know. I stay away from the total. I just take maybe Guardians on the run line as a lean there. I think they've got, of course, more going on. The Rangers are just dead. And Zach Littell being sent out against the Brewers is an absolute joke. He's terrible for the Reds, terrible pitcher. I take the Brewers there on the run line. I think they run all over Cincinnati.
Yeah, from Chris, just make note here. Boston's magic number is 1. The 1 to make the postseason wild card. And by the way, winning the division in the Central is no big deal because you're still going to be in the wild card round no matter what. So just make note there. On over to Solo.
Mets and the Marlins. I think the Mets rolling with Sprout and Sandy's on the mound. Marlins been profitable. Stay on board. I think Sandy comes out here, goes by 5 solid. This bullpen's a little tricky. I really just don't believe in this Mets team, to be honest. I know they're piling up some wins. I know they'll be in the postseason and the whole 9, but just think they got some spots where I think they'll fall apart. And then I think Sandy's a veteran pitcher. I think he gets it done. Let's take the Marlins on the money line. And you already know I'm on the Red Sox minus 122. 1 away. It's Tigers team. They got busy yesterday, but still not a big fan. A solid team. I know they'll be in the playoff as well. I think they'll go off first round, but strong showing today. Red Sox got a lot to play for. Tigers as well, but I think the Red Sox bring it. I know Harrison's not the best. Mize has been solid. I like him better at home. Give me the Red Sox on the money line.
There we go. Here from Solo on over to El Ninos.
Yeah, not much for me in this slot. Maybe a couple overs again. I'll take the over in that Mets Marlins game. I'll go leaning over in that Tigers Red Sox. I think either of these starters. I know Harrison coming off a solid start here, but still going to need to see a little bit more than that, and I think these offenses can get going against these starters. So I'll take the over there. And I think that wraps it up for me.
That wraps up for El Ninos. Just a note on the Mets and Reds. The Mets are 1 game ahead of the Reds for the wild card, but the Reds have the tiebreaker. So it's kind of like you cannot. If they finish tied, the Reds get in. So pressure situation there for the Mets to hold off those Reds. Yeah, I'll look at the Red Sox here. They get their clincher, they celebrate. Maybe they'll lose the next 2. Maybe they got a gentleman's agreement over there in Boston. I don't know, there. So I'll take Boston here minus 118. Hey, they did that. They do that in soccer, right? They negotiate ties and all this stuff. So Al Ninos knows all about that. What goes on behind the scenes?
I don't think it's just soccer, but hey.
There, so we'll take Boston here minus 118. Yeah, I can only look at Cleveland. Just as mentioned earlier, Texas is a dead team. Texas hitting 157 over their past 5 games. Guys, don't you want contract money? You're not hitting. The Coney past 5 starts in pretty good form. As I said before, the Guardians are in a position to earn magic number 2 just to make the wild card. You don't have to win the division. As I said, it's not a big deal to win the division because the winner of this division is still going to play in the wild card round. They're really, Oh, actually, I should change that because you will have home field if you do win the division. So that's bad. My bad. Yeah, you'll have the home dates if you win the division. So it does matter to win the division. So yeah, give me Cleveland in that spot. Yeah, I got to look at them. I got to look at the Mets. I mean, they cannot lose ground on the Reds, or they'll be out of the wild card picture. This is not. They got to win every game here. And you know what that means, right? And Sandy's been in pretty good form. but I would be more scared if the Marlins were on the road. To be honest with you,
Absolutely.
Not at home, because that atmosphere in Miami is horrible. No one shows up to the games. It's dead. And believe it or not, Miami at home this year, their home night games, 17-27, losing 9.5 units. That's why they're not a playoff team, because they were in the playoff running. They were still in it. They were still in it. But horrible home field advantage. And believe it or not, there'll be more Met fans there today than because these Met fans are crazy. They'll travel just to cheer their team to get to the wild card. That's
still the Mets.
Still the Mets. Still the Mets. Yeah, that's right. It's the dead atmosphere there in Miami for games, but I'll look at the Mets in that spot. And I can only look at the plus money with the Pirates here with Mitch Keller. I'm not a big Joey Wentz fan. Matter of fact, his home splits have been horrible this year. 19 home appearances, ERA 8.5. How the hell is that possible? You're still in Major League Baseball. I really, that makes no sense whatsoever. Pittsburgh's bullpen in the better recent form and better month-long form than Atlanta. Against righty starters at home this year, Atlanta 27-31, losing 15 units. My goodness, there. Yeah, I could only look at them in that spot. Yeah, I think we got a playoff atmosphere there with the Reds Brewers. I like the under in that one. Priest has been sharp. The Reds can't hit 209 over their past 6 games. Against righty starters this year, the Reds 33-20 the under on the road. And I'll go under in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony 6 Morning Show as we close out baseball here with these final 5. Astros and Angels. Astros here, boy, almost a dead team here. Dead team walking. Astros $1.30, total of 9. D-backs, and I shouldn't say that because a lot of these teams choke and let these teams pass them. So D-backs and Padres here. Interesting scenario here with this one. Arizona still with a shot. They need the teams ahead of them to lose. We've got the Padres, and that's possible because this is the wild card race. Padres $1.35, total 7.5. There, Padres got to make up 2 games to get home field against the Cubs. Dodgers and Mariners, nothing for the Dodgers to play for. Mariners have clinched the bye, but they are in line for the number 1 seed. Mariners $1.35, total of 7. Royals and Athletics here. We've got this line came out here, $1.10 both sides, total 10.5. And this is your sleep-inducing game of the weekend. Looks like here, Rockies and Giants. We got the Giants. Well, these pictures are some ugly numbers though. Giants 232, total of 8. We start here with Chris.
Oh, yeah, looking at this Arizona and San Diego in there. I don't know why he would choose to do that with everything needing to happen here, but whatever on that. So with that being said, we're going to take Arizona on the money line there. It's Yu Darvish. I'm not going to back him. And I can't believe he's trying to rest some people right here. I mean, like, one thing I always go back to in any situation like that is you rest at the end, not in the middle. It's what Kobe said. And, I mean, you're just going to rest right now. Like, you got some stuff on the line here. So, no good for San Diego there. But take Arizona there on the money line on that. And, Seattle's been rolling along here. We're getting plus money with the Dodgers. Maybe the Dodgers come in here and bust it up a little bit. I'll take the plus money with the Dodgers. I think it's the first time I've done that all year, but we'll do it today. Getting a coin flip price with the Royals and the Athletics. Give me Noah Cameron and the Royals to come into the shelter and just get the win.
There we go from Chris on over to Solo.
Yeah, definitely not my favorite slot, but I'm going to look at the Astros and the Angels. Got Alexander on the mound. He's been solid. I think he comes out, pitches well the first 5. I heard you say Hendricks' first real game. I don't really think it means too much. I'm not a big fan. I think the Astros play at an early time. So, like you said, everything won't be decided. I think they come to play. I'm going to take the Astros money line first 5. And like you said, that Diamondbacks-Padres game, not really sure why they moved Gallen. Something tells me to stay away from that one. So I'm going to look at this Royals-Athletics game. I'm not really sure who's going for the A's. I don't really think it matters. I think runs come early and often. I'm going to take this total over.
There we go with Solo on over to Alaninos.
Yeah, I think they moved Gallen back here because they knew they had a better chance to beat the Padres than they had to beat the Dodgers.
Oh!
But that's just me, maybe.
I don't know. You want to lose another game in the standings? I mean, that was like, I don't know what
they lose that with a
Fuck
Gallen pitch
around and lose both.
So, yeah, exactly. Might as well give yourself a chance to go 1-1, right, instead of 0-2. Anywho, Hey, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, I agree. I'm kind of leaning Astros there. That total at 9 is pretty high. Hendricks is coming off a real good start. Alexander, not so much, but he had been pitching decently well before that. So I think the Astros, they're just a better team, despite what they've been doing. I like the Diamondbacks again on the -1. They're going to take a money line and on the alternate run line. And same thing with the Dodgers here. They're priced about the same on the money line, but at about 10 cents less on the reverse run line. They obviously, I guess, are given more of a chance to get their offense going and cover this reverse run line. But I'm going both Diamondbacks and Dodgers on the reverse -1 there.
All right, there from El Nino's here. I just wanted to type in what the Diamondbacks and Mets tiebreaker scenario was there to see what happens there. Although there's a lot of scenarios here. If there's a 3-way tie, it looks like the Reds will get it in. If next tiebreaker would be the Mets currently have a better division record, and the Diamondbacks so the Diamondbacks hold the tiebreaker on the Mets there. So that's how that works there. And right now, the Diamondbacks are 2 games back of the Mets, so they'd have to make up 2 games here. But if they finish tied, D-backs have the tiebreaker on them. So that's the story there. Although they'll know if the Mets win or lose when this game starts. They'll still have some life left there because again, they just got to finish tied with the Mets to get that. That's why they're still in this race here. Is they have the tiebreaker in that scenario there. But anyway, we'll get back to it. That's why it doesn't make any sense why they rested Gallen yesterday. It's just, again, I don't know what this is logic. It's just this isn't there. But anyway, this is going to be Hendricks' last start ever. He's retiring, and I think Houston's going to pound him. There, give me the Astros here on the run line here in this one. Astros have a lot to play, especially if these teams they're chasing lose. It gives them hope here, and that could be a scenario that I do project Boston to win this game. So that gives Houston some hope here to catch the Astros. So all you need is the Guardians or the Detroit Tigers to lose. It gives some hope to this Astros team. So I'll take the Astros in this spot because this is a late game, and the Guardians and Detroit play early. So I'll give me the Astros run line. Now, if the Guardians and the Tigers both win, I wouldn't make this play, to be honest with you. I would not make this play. All they need is one of those teams to lose to get them within a game closer to them. So, I'll take the Houston run line in that one. Yeah, who knows what to do at this Diamondbacks spot. Again, this is a situation where if the Cubs are losing big, I would probably look at the Padres shot, because that means if the Padres win, Cubs lose, that means the Padres will just have to gain 1 game on them in the final 2 to get home field. And but again, if the Cubs are winning big, this will not be I would stay away and maybe look the Arizona side. So this all depends on what's going on in the earlier games, right? Because if their chances are, if the D-backs get some hope, Mets are losing big, then D-backs come to play. Cubs losing big, Padres come to play. So this all depends on what the teams ahead of them are doing, the way I look at that situation. Dodgers and Mariners. Now, that's funny with this. This is a situation where the rule changes in baseball apply, right? Because in the past, you can call up a lot of guys. Now you can only call up 2 guys. Dodgers called up 2 pitchers. So they still have their guys in the lineup. It's just the backups are going to play. And the Dodger backups here against the Mariners team that's partied back-to-back nights. I've never seen teams partying back-to-back nights. That's got to be a first there. But I can only look at the Dodgers because they got some pretty good backups. They do have, and sometimes maybe the starters will play 4 or 5 innings and sit. We'll see how that goes because the Dodgers got to play a wild card game on Tuesday. I would expect them to sit everybody on Monday. And maybe play guys half the game, kind of like a preseason game where you play 4 or 5 innings Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. I could see that scenario there as well. So we'll see how this plays down the stretch. Keep an eye on the lineups. This is the weekend where you got to really look at the lineups before you do anything. Yeah,
so you're saying attack the Dodgers first 5 this weekend? That
looks the way to be it. Yeah, because you got to keep them in some sort of rhythm. You just can't sit them all down, right? Because you're going to play Tuesday. So, and usually what you usually see in this scenario is the starters play half the game, so that might be the case there just to keep them sharp. And then everyone sits Sunday. That's usually how it works. Everybody sits Sunday. So Mariners are playing for the 1 seed also. They're in that. They are going to get the bye. So the Mariners are not going to play baseball next week. So they're going to have a long layoff. So they may be, they may have a little more to play for, knowing they're going to sit for a week, get the number 1 seed. We got a good home field advantage here, so maybe that's something they may look into doing here. So we'll see if that's the case there with Seattle. I would kind of project that to be the case there, but again, you can only bring up 2 guys, so the Dodgers going to have to play some of their starters. You're going to see the backups, I should say. You're going to see, and their backups are pretty good there. This Royal game, I'll just look at the KC side. KC's in the better hitting form right now, and their bullpen's in the better form. I can only look at that side. Colorado and San Francisco, this is your sleeping-inducing one here. I like the under. I know the numbers are ugly, but the Rockies can't hit, and I just don't see I looked at the attendance in that last series of the Cardinals. The fans just not showing up for San Francisco. It's just a bad look over there, the way things have gone here for this Giants team. I'll look at the under in that one. And of course, that home night situation is starting to cool down now out here in the West Coast and up in the Pacific North, up in the Northern California. So I think the under is in play now as we're hitting the fall weather now in San Francisco. So we're gonna have those cooler temperatures, ball not carrying. So give me the under there. San Francisco 28-18 to the under at home in night games. So we're gonna get that spring type weather where the ball doesn't carry at this time of the year in San Francisco. This might be a complete under all games in this series. All right. Let's continue here on the Tony's Morning Show as we continue here with W. The back in the action here in the W. We got some pretty good series here. A lot of intensity in these playoff series. Have been pretty good to watch. Acers and Fever. Aces road favorites 4.5, total 162.5. Lynx and Mercury. Lynx on the road 4-3.5, total 158.5. You have anything here, Chris?
No, sir, not today.
Not today. Move on over to Solo.
Lynx and the Mercury. Like you said, the Lynx definitely was the best team during the regular season, but this Mercury team is fighting hard in this playoffs. They won the first game, tricked that one off, came back, stole the last one, back at home for this one. I think they bring it. You guys take the points. I'm on the money line with the Mercury.
There we go from Solo. All right, we got you through our WNBA segment, and I think we got everything covered, right? We got everything covered. So now it's time for our Parlay Purple segment where our cap is giving up parlay, get a player prop, game of the future. They make the call here. We started off with Chris.
Give me the White Sox on the money line. Give me, I guess it was what we were talking about just a minute ago. Give me the Dodgers first 5 money line, and I'll take Colorado to spoil it here and to kind of spice it up in San Francisco. And then probably won't have many more opportunities to give this guy out on there for the home run, but give me Rowdy to Les to go.
No, Rowdy.
give him to go yard. Probably the last time he'll be given out this season.
Yep. Maybe we'll see maybe he'll get a minor league contract next year. This has been around 3 different teams for Rowdy. On over to Solo.
Let's go White Sox Nationals over and the Mercury money line.
There we go from Solo. Now we move on over to El Ninos. You're on mute, El Ninos.
Yeah, sorry, that was for the WNBA segment. Yeah, I'm gonna go to college football, I guess. Here I'll go Florida State, Virginia over the 60. I'll take TCU plus the half point in the first quarter and the Houston, Oregon State over.
There we go from El Ninos. So I'll give you here under in Orioles, Yankees. Give me the Mets there, and give me under in Reds and the Brewers. All right, we got you through our Parlay Purple segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Heading into pretty great weekend of action here, right? A lot of good baseball, a lot of division races, wild card races are up there. Also, we also have NFL coming back into the fray here Sunday, as well as action here from the WNBA playoffs. And if you click the link in the description, you'll land right here on our page over at Tony's Picks with our best bets and our premium plays up on the board with leaderboards showcasing all our top performers. We'll see here what Chris has for sale over at Tony's Picks. Chris has been on fire here in college football for 2025. Chris, what do you got for sale today?
Well, I got you guys a play in college football today. One of the games tonight. I got your best bet in that. Got your best bet in baseball. Going to put in a couple more probably here directly. Was waiting on a few pitcher changes and pitcher updates. So I got your best bet in baseball though. Best bet in college football. We're going to keep rolling along there with that one. And hop on something this. If you guys want to do 3 days, we got a lot of action like Tony said. Still, we got last of baseball till the postseason. College football, NFL, you guys know I cover that as well. So hop on something long-term, short-term. Let me get you some winners for that. And 2-for-1 capper, 2 people putting money in your pocket makes a lot of sense. So hop on, pair us up, let us go to work for you. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save you the 15% off of that. And I'm going to keep trying to do well in college football.
Very good. Get on board with Chris over at Tony's Picks. You can see Chris Chris, ready to roll here with profit guarantee plays here from MLB and college football under the lights. So get on board or consider those long-term subscriptions. You guys like those 3-day passes around the weekend. Of course, why not? Because they're loaded with action here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with a lot of football in there with baseball. Our last big cards from Major League Baseball for the year here this weekend. So get on board with Chris over at Tony's Picks and use that promo code TonyT. Save you that 15% off. All right, let's take a look, see what Solo's got rocking over at Tony's Picks for today. Solo, been great in baseball. What you got, Solo?
I think I got one college football play up right now. I'm going to add one WNBA play. I was waiting on some last information. I'm going to add a MLB play. So I'll probably just have between 3 and 4 plays today. Stay right there. We'll be ready to fire for the weekend. You know, I'm down with checking the Bulldogs. So we're seeing the board pretty well. NFL coming up Sunday. WNBA playoffs, MLB, you know, down to the final leg. So, you know, sign up with a short-term, long-term, pin with your favorite cap, pin with the hottest cap. Make sure you use that 15% code. Don't parlay, and let's get to the bank.
Yeah, get to the bank with Solo, finishing up his place here. Get on board. Long 1-day pass, long-term subscriptions, guys. You guys love that 3-day pass with all this weekend action. No better time now to get on board with Solo over at Tony's Picks using that promo code TonyT at checkout to save that 15% off. And I think those La Tech Bulldogs are pretty good this year. They got it done for me last week against Southern Miss, even with their backup quarterback in there. He's pretty good. He's not bad.
I think he's better.
Yeah, he might be better. The backup might be better up there. All right, we'll see what El Nino's has for sale over at Tony's Picks. El Nino's doing great in the NFL. What you got, Al?
Yeah, so far just the lone baseball play up there. As we said, a lot of situational stuff happening here, especially involving the late game. So, hey, that's always a great feature we have here at Tony's Picks, especially on a day like this. Make sure you get one of those long-term 2-for-1 capper passes. Pair me up with your favorite capper, and make sure you get a Steam player too, which should be up there today with this baseball card. Should have a college football player too up there shortly.
That's right. Get on board. El Nino's over at Tony's Picks. You can see his plays up there right now. Friday grand start from baseball. Still working the card. He's got a Sunday early kickoff for you guys up there. I'll play there from El Nino's and the best bet in the NFL. But remember, all of our 1-day passes are profit guaranteed. They must turn a profit amount purchased will be credit back to your account for site credits. That's profit guarantee, or consider the long-term subscriptions as well. Get on board with El Nino's. Remember, that 3-day pass is real popular right now, especially with this big weekend coming up of action. Last big card from Major League Baseball. Don't worry, we're going to have more big cards because the NHL and NBA aren't too far away. Trust me there. We're going to have monster cards coming up as well. That's why you consider the long-term subscriptions with all these sports overlapping. All right. I've got a best bet up on the board from college football. I have a baseball play of the day up there as well. So get on board with me over at Tony's Picks. I'm having a great year in baseball, in the green for me in NFL and college football to start the year. So get on board and get signed up. Guys, with you here on the Tony's Morning Show here every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Be live with us. Get these plays for you guys in real time. If you happen to miss any of our picks on the morning shows or head on over to our YouTube channel. Got a great YouTube channel up there with lots of great content. Matter of fact, all you've got to do is head on over there and just hit the YouTube and then hit Tony's Picks. Do the old search there. You'll find us. And, of course, when you get there, hit the live tab to watch our replays of our live show. So you'll see our live show replay here. We got our happy hour hosted by Rod there at 5 p.m. Eastern time here every Monday through Friday. So Rod will be with us here on the happy hour. And we debuted Night Moves, our overnight show, late nights, 2 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're one of those that want to get the plays before the line moves, check out Night Moves with Ramon Scott, the Prince of Darkness. Get you those picks there here on the overnight shift there, 2 a.m. Eastern time, sometimes a little later than that. But just check the channel. You'll be notified. Matter of fact, set notifications. You'll know when Ramon goes live. He likes to do the show after all the games are done. West Coast games are done. So he'll have the information, injury information, the early moves. Get them before your book moves them. So check out the Night Move show. Also, guys, hit the video tab. A lot of great content from our cappers. We clip the picks from
Ramon taking over the damn board.
Yeah, we clip the videos there from Ramon's show. So we got a full board of videos from Ramon. So you don't have to watch it. You can get them clipped there. Got everything on the board today from baseball to CFL, WNBA's in there. And you get a lot of views with Ramon here. These people get a lot of, we're getting a lot of good reviews on this with this show. Even though some folks can't catch the knife, but they appreciate the individual games up there. So, or you can watch the full show. We're growing that show, so that's pretty good there with Ramon. underdog picks for today from El Ninos. Chris has got his home run prop video. It's been very, very popular here on the channel. Oh, man, I had a lot of work yesterday with the college football. We finished college football. We finished it up, so we got all 47 games up there now for Saturday. That's done. I got the baseball in. I got the 3 from college football in. So, yeah, I was a busy guy yesterday there. So, So lots of great content. My baseball compilations up there. A lot of stuff, guys. So check out over to our YouTube channel. A lot of great content up there. You can hit the shorts tab, even more content. You see often Brian Bittler contributing again with some more college football. You got El Ninos with his -1. You can see Brian's doing great views here on his football here over on the short side there. So a lot of great content, and of course, we give people opportunities here. If they want to do shows, they can come to us. We'll work with them, and of course, like we do, we get those opening line shows. We'll clip them. Our editors will clip the picks and make them individual. So a lot of great content here on our channel, guys. So check it out. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. And, of course, Chris, that home run hit list has been very popular on the channel.
Yeah, it's been popular. Guys, scroll down, find me today. Me and Al are under the blanket of Ramon there. Yeah, so we're on there. I think I did the total last night all the way back to March 31st when I started doing the videos for this year for home runs. And we are quickly approaching 200 home runs that we've hit this year. So pretty good milestone there in that. It's been a good video. I got you 8 today. Tread lightly, though. These guys are showing up, not showing up. You're seeing a lot of these rookies come up to actually get it, and your people like Soto and Judge and Ohtani are kind of slumping, or kind of just not showing up. So yeah, tread lightly on that. I've got you 8 though. I think are really good matchups today. Pick your favorite and go with it. All good money there. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing that through the postseason. We'll just keep putting it out there and try to keep doing well.
Very good there. So of course, Solo, we got you here. We see you in the mornings. You see also pop in there on the happy hour.
Yeah, like I said, we back active right now, so I'll be popping in. I'm sharking in the water, so I'm around. I'll be tapping in.
Absolutely, and of course, El Ninos here we see on our shows here, as well as your -1 shorts, and you got those dog videos.
Yeah, good to see Solo again. And so Chris was saying, if you go dig in there, you'll find it after Ramon's videos. But yeah, got my 3 doggies up. Had a request for some first 5 picks again. So got a couple of those and the money line there. Again, all those picks are eligible for the good old -1 as well if you like them to win big on the full game as well. But that's just my best looks on these games. If you want to go check that out.
That's right, guys. So check out the YouTube channel. A lot of great content, growing even more. So I appreciate everyone's contributions here, of course, in the chat there. Of course, Javon's going to be a new addition. We're going to get him up and running here on the board. If you happen to see the show yesterday, Javon hit it out of the ballpark yesterday in his audition. He'll be part of the Tony Speaks team, and he'll be seen on some of our shows. Also going to work a video series as well. So Money Bags is his moniker there on YouTube. Javon Jones will be joining Tony's Picks handicapper family here.
We got stacks and bags.
Yeah, yeah, we do, and growing by the minute. On my email,
2 for 1 for you.
I've been getting a lot of folks. If you want to, I'm getting people on the show. If you want, and as a matter of fact, Javon gave me a good idea. He goes, it's tough to do, doing the auditions here live on the show. You got to get your camera set up. Sometimes the folks don't always have the best look. So just send me an email. Go over to Tony's Picks, shoot an email if you want an audition. This way you can set up your camera, have everything ready. Okay, there was some flubs before when we tried it on the spot. So if you guys want to audition for the show, become Tony's Picks family, send us an email if you would. All right, there. So, a lot of great content coming here on Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Go hit that like, that subscribe. All right. Any closing thoughts for anybody before we close it out?
Don't parlay.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Be smart. Play it smart, guys. And the more outs, the more opportunities you have to get the best numbers. Right? That's the name. That's the name of the game. But keep an eye on these prediction markets, Kalshi and all these Profit X and all of them. They look to be the news of that look to be the way of the future. And I know the sportsbook operator is a little nervous because they can't charge the 20 cents juice, 30 cents juice, 50 cents juice, 5% low. See, listen, this is like the stock market. When the stock market exploded when they had low commission, right? When that word low commissions came in, the market blew up. When you have low commission in sports betting, the markets are going to blow up. That's what's going to happen. The commissions are a little too high right now in the sports betting marketplace. We need these prediction markets to come in here to drop these commission rates, which are insane, too high.
a world of difference between Profit X and the Hard Rock app out here. I'll tell you that. Those are like the two polar opposites. So yeah,
So you know yourself, the prediction markets are much better, right?
Oh yeah, the Hard Rock app is very juiced. They definitely can put whatever number they want, and I guess people go up to the machine and bet it. So
yeah, but
Right,
low commission.
in front of them.
That's what killed the horse racing business was the high takeout, right? You want sports betting to grow. Low commission is the way to go. It's the prediction market, the exchanges, where that's where the sports books are pretty much locked into their profits. So the way they make profit is just increasing the volume, right? They don't have to root any side of the game. That's kind of where the prediction market is. It's player versus player, right? That's what the prediction market is, and that's better for the consumer because you get lower commission. And that's what they got. That's what they need to sell it on lower commission, because then it's definitely it helps the consumer, the prediction markets. And we kind of felt that way. I've been pushing up these profit X's and those, and now it's starting to make big news with Call Sheet. Right now, sports betting is going to be treated like a commodity, right? It's a prediction, like you're predicting the price of pork bellies, the price of beef, grains, and all that. So that's basically what we're talking about here. It's basically the sports betting is going to be basically going to the commodities market. That means the federal government gets the money, not the states. That's another topic for somebody else. But that's kind of the politics behind the scene. Is now the focus is to get the money into the Fed instead of into the states. But you guys can understand that. I'll let you guys think about that for a second while. But that's kind of where we're going to report manipulate a little bit. But again, for me, it's just a win for the consumer to have these prediction markets. That's the future. Just like the stock market. Low commission trades. Who was Scott trade? Low commission. That's what the people want. Give them the low commission. All right, guys, that'll do it for the show. We're going to wake up. All right, guys, you guys make it a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony This Morning Show.